Hello there, friends! Isn't there something truly special about taking an ordinary item and giving it a whole new life? That's the heart of upcycling, y'all. It's about seeing the hidden potential in things we might otherwise toss aside. Instead of adding to a landfill, we can create something beautiful and useful for our homes. This simple act of transformation is not only kind to our sweet planet, but it also fills our living spaces with unique stories and a whole lot of character. It's a wonderful way to get creative and make your home truly, uniquely yours. Think of it as a little bit of magic you can make with your own hands. Now let's talk about paint buckets. I know it might sound a little funny at first, but these sturdy containers are just waiting to become something amazing. A chic and strong little seat. Why is this such a smart idea, you ask? Well, first off, these buckets are built tough. They're designed to hold heavy paint, so they make a surprisingly durable base for a seat. Plus, by upcycling them, we're doing our part for the environment. It's a small choice that makes a big impact. This project is all about being resourceful and adding a touch of handmade charm to your space. It's simple, it's creative, and oh so rewarding. Before we dive into the fun part, let's gather all our treasures, our materials. You won't need anything too fancy, I promise. First, you'll need an empty paint bucket. Those sturdy plastic ones, usually about 5 gallons, are perfect. Make sure it's nice and clean. Then, grab a piece of plywood, cut into a circle just a little bit bigger than the top of your bucket. For the comfy part, you'll need some foam, about 2 to 3 inches thick is lovely. And of course, some pretty fabric that makes your heart sing. A little batting is nice too, for extra softness. You'll also want some strong glue, like E6000, or a good construction adhesive. A staple gun with staples will be your best friend for the fabric. Don't forget scissors, some medium grit sandpaper, and if you plan to paint your bucket, you'll need primer and your chosen paint color. A measuring tape and a pencil will come in handy too. See? Just a few simple things stand between you and a darling new seat. Most of these items are easy to find at your local hardware or craft store, or you might already have them tucked away at home. Alright, let's get started on turning that plain paint bucket into a real showstopper. The very first step, and it's an important one, is to make sure your bucket is sparkling clean. We want our new paint and glue to stick perfectly, so a clean surface is key. Go ahead and peel off any old labels. Sometimes soaking them in a little warm water helps them come right off. Then give the outside of the bucket a good scrub with some soap and water. Rinse it thoroughly and let it dry completely. Maybe set it out in the sunshine for a bit. That always does the trick. Once your bucket is clean and perfectly dry, it's time to think about paint. If you're going to give your bucket a fresh new color, using a primer first is a really good idea. Primer is like a magic base coat, y'all. It helps your paint adhere so much better, and it gives you a richer, more even color in the end. Just one smooth, even coat of a quality primer will do wonders. You can use a brush for this, or a spray primer works great too for quick coverage. If you're spraying, be sure to do it in a well-ventilated spot, maybe outdoors on a calm day. Now for the really fun part, choosing your paint color and bringing your vision to life. Will you go for a soft, dreamy pastel, a bold and cheerful hue, or perhaps a classic, crisp white? Whatever color you choose, it's going to look just beautiful. You can use spray paint for a super smooth finish, or if you enjoy the process of brushing, regular paint works wonderfully too. Apply one even coat, and then let it dry completely. Sometimes a second coat is needed for that perfect, full coverage. Just take your time with it, there's no rush. The most important thing after painting is patience. Oh, I know it's hard to wait when you're excited to see the finished piece, but letting that paint dry thoroughly is so crucial. Depending on the type of paint and even the weather, it might take a little longer than you think. This is a perfect moment to tidy up your workspace a little, or maybe brew a cup of tea and start dreaming about where your new seat will live in your home. Rushing the drying process can lead to smudges or a tacky finish, and we want our creation to be just perfect, down to the last detail. While your beautifully painted bucket is drying, we can get started on the comfy, cozy part, the seat cushion. This is what will transform it from a simple bucket into a welcoming place to rest. You'll need that circle of plywood we talked about. If you didn't have it pre-cut, you can easily make one. Use the lid of your paint bucket as a template, or trace a circle just a smidge larger than the bucket's opening onto your plywood. Carefully cut it out using a jigsaw. And please, remember your safety glasses for this step. Protect those precious eyes. Once it's cut, take your sandpaper and gently smooth out any rough edges. Next, let's add the softness. Take your plywood circle and place it on your foam. Trace around it with a marker, and then carefully cut out the foam circle. An electric carving knife actually works like a charm for cutting foam, but a sharp utility knife will also do the job. Apply a good amount of your strong glue to one side of the plywood circle, then press the foam circle firmly onto it. Let this sit for a little while so the glue can set. If you're using batting for an extra plush feel and a nice rounded edge, now's the time. Lay your batting flat, place the foam side down plywood on top, pull the batting snugly around, and staple it to the back of the plywood. This is where your seat truly starts to show its personality, choosing and attaching the fabric. Pick a fabric that you absolutely love, something that makes you smile every time you see it. Durable fabrics like canvas, denim, or even a pretty outdoor fabric are great choices, especially if your seat will get lots of love and use. Lay your fabric with the pretty side facing down on a clean, flat surface. Center your foam and plywood cushion, foam side down of course, on top of the fabric. Now, start pulling the fabric up and over the edge of the plywood, keeping it taut but not too tight, and staple it securely to the back of the plywood. Work your way around the circle, folding the fabric neatly at the corners. Even though it's a circle, you'll create little folds. Try to make your staples neat and evenly spaced. Once the fabric is all stapled down, trim away any excess fabric from the back of the plywood for a tidy finish. Now, to attach this beautiful cushion to your painted bucket, you can use a generous amount of your strong adhesive all around the rim of the paint bucket, then carefully center and press the cushion firmly in place. Hold it for a few minutes, or use something heavy to weigh it down while the glue sets according to the instructions. This will create a lovely, seamless look for your new seat. Just imagine all the wonderful ways you can use your charming new seat. These little beauties are so versatile. They make fantastic extra seating in the living room when friends and family gather. Tucked under a console table or next to a bookshelf, they add a pop of color and personality. How about using one as a sweet little vanity seat in your bedroom or bathroom? It's just the right height. And for the kiddos, these seats are an absolute dream in a playroom or bedroom. They're perfect for story time, drawing, or just having their own special spot. If you've used outdoor-friendly paint and fabric, they can even brighten up a covered porch or patio space. Now let your creativity really sparkle with some fun decoration ideas. You don't have to stop at just paint and fabric. Consider using stencils to add a delicate pattern, a monogram, or some inspiring words onto the side of the bucket. Vinyl decals are another easy way to add a custom touch. For a rustic or coastal feel, you could wrap the bucket with thick jute rope. If you're making one for a child's room, think about painting fun animal faces on the bucket or choosing fabric with playful characters. For a more modern, sophisticated style, try a metallic paint finish on the bucket paired with a bold geometric print fabric for the cushion. The possibilities are truly endless. To keep your handmade seat looking its best and ensure it's always safe, a few little tips can go a long way. While these buckets are quite sturdy, they are designed for sitting, not for standing on, especially for adults. Always make sure that your cushion is very securely attached to the bucket. We don't want any wobbly surprises. For cleaning, simply wipe the painted bucket with a damp cloth. The fabric cushion can usually be spot cleaned with a mild soap and water. It's best to avoid any harsh chemical cleaners. A common mistake to avoid is not allowing the paint to cure completely before attaching the cushion, so remember that patience is a virtue in crafting. I truly hope you feel inspired to gather your supplies and try this delightful project. It's such a rewarding experience to create something beautiful and functional with your own two hands. This can be a wonderful family activity too. Imagine the fun of letting your children help pick out fabrics or even help with the painting, with supervision of course. And what a thoughtful handmade gift this would make for a friend or loved one. There's a special kind of joy and accomplishment that comes from upcycling. So embrace your creativity, enjoy the process, and most importantly, love your new, unique, and oh so chic paint bucket seat. Happy making, y'all!